Oh man, I'm just gonna catch some B-roll, but there is a whole herd of elk right over here. Let's see if we can capture them. Oh, they're all coming down the hillside there. Oh man, there's a ton of them. Holy cow. Well, hello and good morning. Hopefully you can see me okay. I am out on a trail run. I'll be reviewing the, let me see if I can show you, Craft Pure Trail. This is a fun trail shoe, but is it the trail shoe that you want or the trail shoe that you need? Well, let's find out on today's review. Now I apologize because it is a little dark right now, but that's not going to deter me from getting this review out for you or from climbing on top of a mountain. So first, let's go climb this mountain and then we'll get into the review. Also, if you wouldn't mind subscribing and click the like button, maybe comment with your thoughts on this shoe, that would be fabulous. Voiceover Chad, why don't you tell us about some of the specs and features? The Craft Pure Trail is the ultimate expression of advanced simplicity. This shoe is a pure display of innovation that gives runners best-in-class performance and comfort. Elite athletes and everyday runners will feel a powerful benefit in every stride. It features a one-piece TPU mesh upper, which is ultralight, flexible, breathable, and durable. Structured overlays on the outside and the inside of the upper. CR or critical foam midsole. Orthopedic recycled insole. Rock plate. Full rubber lugged outsoles measured at 4 millimeters. Craft regular fit, which is said to be snug in the heel and the midfoot, with excellent lockdown and roomy forefoot, although that hasn't necessarily been my experience. More on that later in the video. Weighing in at 320 grams or 11.25 ounces in a standard men's size, 30 millimeter heel, 24 millimeter toe for a 6 millimeter heel to toe drop, and a US MSRP of $169.99. I should also mention that Craft did send me these shoes for the purpose of review, but all thoughts, experiences, and opinions are strictly my own. Oh, it's starting to snow now. Still pretty dark out though. You know, on a crisp morning, sub-freezing morning like this, these Spring Energy gels, the awesome soft flavor, tastes really, really good. Oh, that's yummy. Hit up my affiliate link. You can go to the feed and pick up some of your own. The feed is where I get all of my nutrition and hydration products from. So yeah, check out my affiliate link and you might even get a little bit of a discount. All right, we're still on the trails, still have a bit of a climb. Let's get to the top of this mountain. Well, as you can see, it's still fairly dark outside. I'm approaching mile 10 and the snow has started accumulating on the ground. It's pretty out here, but there's not much to see quite yet. It's not quite bright enough. There we have it. If I turn off the headlamp, yeah, I can't really see much. It's a little brisk, below freezing. I don't know, it feels like it's probably in the mid 20 degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere 25 or so. I'm not sure, but yeah. Alrighty, enough talking. Let's get on with the review. Turn on the headlamp for you. Okay, we're gonna talk about a few things. Already read over the specs and features, but let's talk about the build or build quality. We're gonna talk about the comfort and the performance, and then lastly, we'll wrap up with the value of the shoe. I'll give each of those a rating 1 out of 10. So let's get down this mountain. Let's wait for the sun to come up a little bit more, and then start with the build quality. All of the B-roll was recorded after this run, so you're seeing the shoe in its current condition after 60 miles, a handful of runs. As for that build quality, I'm gonna give it pretty high ratings. In fact, I'm just gonna come out and say I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. That's a pretty high ranking for build quality. That outsole rubber is nice and durable. It's pretty grippy. More on that in the performance, but it's nice and durable. Should last quite a long time. The midsole should also last a really long time. That midsole is a supercritical foam, which is great, but it's probably a little harsh. More on that in the comfort and the performance. Stay tuned. But overall build quality of that midsole is very nice. You also get a rock plate, which is great. That seems to be good quality, not giving me any problems. The upper is also really nice because it seems to be very lightweight, very breathable, and very durable. I love how Craft put some really nice overlays, those welded overlays across the toe box and along the medial and lateral side of the shoe. Gives it a little bit more structure, a little more protection, and certainly some durability. And then you have some nice overlays with a slightly supportive heel around the ankle. That's really good. And then you have some really nice overlays on the tongue of the shoe and around the laces. Oh, sorry for the wind. So that really certainly helps with the overall build quality. So yeah, again, build quality, really good, really happy overall with that. Whew, it's windy. We'll drop down here in the valley and hopefully it won't be quite as windy. So there's this small road section. I started out with about 7 miles of trails and then a mile or two on this road to get up to the side of the mountain. And then I went on an old torn up road and small trail to get to the top of that peak. So now we're just tracking back, coming down the mountain, and we'll connect into the double track and single track trail here in just a bit. Oh man, I'm just gonna catch some B-roll, but there is a whole herd of elk right over here. Let's see if we can capture them. Oh, they're all coming down the hillside there. Oh man, there's a ton of them. Holy cow. I'm gonna try and get a little closer so you can see them, but do you see them out there? Oh, they're all on the hillside. Oh man, look at them down there. Oh man, holy cow. Wow. You see them all down there? I separated them. There's a couple up there. Wow. And they're out there again. Here's all their footprints. What a cool run this has been so far. I get to see some elk, get up on top of a mountain. I get to run in shoes that look like I have a sunrise on my feet. It's just amazing. So now let's talk about the comfort of the shoe. I'm gonna give it no more than a 6 out of 10, which isn't the greatest score. I have very mixed feelings when it comes to the comfort of the shoe because there are certainly parts of the shoe that I really enjoy, but I keep coming back to a couple things. One, that midsole. It is a supercritical foam, but it's not as bouncy or soft as I was really hoping for. So the underfoot ride is a little harsh. When I run in shoes that have a harder, stiffer midsole, but these days I really expect a little more out of my shoes. I do really like the rock plate. I feel that it helps maintain some comfort on very technical rocky trails, almost at the detriment of ground feel. The shoe has a nice rocker, so transitioning from heel or midfoot to toe off is always smooth. But the second thing that has me a little leery on comfort is the upper. While the materials are really nice, super high quality build. The upper is also really breathable, which is really nice. In fact, on a cold morning like this, you feel this cold air on your toes. But I feel like this shoe maybe needs just a little more comfort padding built in, specifically on the tongue. While the tongue lays flat and stays in place across the top of your foot, even though it's not gusseted, it stays in place, which is very good. I wish I had just a little bit of padding, some dense padding. It wouldn't take much, but just a little bit across the top of your foot. The laces lay even across the top of your foot, but unlike many other shoes, I do feel certain spots, almost like hot spots across the top of my foot. It's never been really too problematic, but I have noticed, especially after a long run like today, when I take the shoe off, I have some redness on the top of my foot. And that would make me hesitant to take this on anything longer than a 20-mile run. Hey, Future Chad here. I wanted to mention something about sizing. I went with my normal 9.5 size, and while I personally wouldn't size up, I do think that if you're on the half size cusp, I would recommend sizing up. But be aware of the overall volume of the shoe. If you don't necessarily need extra width, and it's just the overall length, not width, but the length of the shoe. On the downhills, I can feel my toes touching the front of the shoe, which could be problematic. So just FYI. Okay, present Chad, back over to you. I do like the comfort around the ankle. There's some good padding in there. Feels comfortable. My ankle's not slipping out at all. I do wish there was a little bit more snugness around a little bit of the heel, but particularly around the midfoot. But let me talk about that and the performance. Let's move on to performance. The overall performance of the shoe is actually pretty good. I would give it probably a 7, maybe an 8 out of 10. I mentioned that rocker shape, and that really helps get you up into your toes. It's nice and smooth. Really comes alive when you are willing to pick up the pace a bit. Craft touts this as a faster shoe, and I don't feel like it's a fast shoe. It's probably just a little too heavy to be considered a race day shoe. I like something that's a little bit lighter, a little more nimble. So that leaves you with using this shoe as more your daily trainer and maybe some of your long runs. But the midsole is, like I was mentioning, just a little too stiff for that too. So you're kind of torn between accepting mediocrity in this shoe. It doesn't mean it's bad, but it doesn't mean it's great either. Now, don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed running in this shoe. It's an adventurous and fun shoe, for sure. The outsole surprised me. It's really grippy, not quite Puma grip, ATR grippy, but grippy and confidence inspiring. That rock plate is definitely nice and protective. Does a great job protecting your mid and forefoot on especially these really rocky technical trails, but it is at the detriment of ground feel. There's definitely some moments where I wish I had a little more ground feel so that I could feel what the ground is doing underfoot, like what I'm stepping on, so that I know how to adapt to that, whether it's a rock or a rut or off camber. Just, yeah, not a whole lot of ground feel, partially because of that rock plate, but probably more so because of the midsole. And the other thing I want to mention about performance is the upper. While it's lightweight, the upper is lightweight, not the shoe overall, but the upper is very lightweight, very breathable, and you have some really nice toe room in that toe box. Craft mentions that the heel and midfoot of this shoe is more fitting, more performance oriented, but frankly, that's not what I've experienced. There's too much room in the midfoot and the ankle of this shoe, mostly in the midfoot. I find that when the ground gets off camber, there's some technical bits. My foot is moving around too much in this shoe. Now, I've never gotten a blister due to that, but I can feel my foot sliding to the outside or the inside of the shoe, depending on what direction I'm leaning. And I don't really like it. The shoe is comfortable when you're on a non-technical kind of flat gravel trail, for example, and you're just able to go straight. When you're tilting and leaning and turning and twisting, it's your foot moves around too much, and I don't think that's a good thing. I would recommend adding some additional welded underlays. It's like the overlays but on the inside of the shoe, to help offer some more medial and lateral support, and I would make the fit just a little bit more snug. Not necessarily in the toe box like I was mentioning, but more in the midfoot and a little bit around the heel. I would add just a little bit more structural support around the heel. My heel never slips out of the shoe, but I just want it to feel really nice and secure, hold around the sides of the heel and the ankle. I hope all this is making sense. If you have any questions, make sure you drop them down below in the comments. I'll be sure to answer. But moving on from performance, oh, there's some deer over here. They're like, what are you doing? What are you running from? Is there a predator out here? Why would you run? Hello. Ah, cool. So what about the value? At $170 US MSRP, that's a lot of pennies to spend on a shoe. You're getting a well thought out shoe, quality build, a lot of really good components. So $170, that's a bit much in my opinion. Will the shoe last? Yes, absolutely. I really feel like you'll get 500, 600 miles out of the shoe. But at $170, I'm gonna put the value at a 6 out of 10. Maybe a 7 out of 10 if you can convince me. Drop a comment down below. We're coming up on the top of a small little peak here. It's not the very top of the mountain, but if it weren't cloudy, you would be able to see over 2 different ridge lines and see the city on the other side of the valley. It's really cool. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely still really pretty out here. So we were earlier this morning on a peak on the other side of this hill side here. And those are the ridge lines. That's the first one. We'll go over that down on the other side here. And then there's a second one on the other side that we'll go over. All right, I hope this video was useful. I am approaching 15 miles. I've got about 5 miles left of this long run. This has been so much fun. Quite the adventure. I really am having a good time in the Craft Pure Trail. It is a fun shoe. It's not perfect. The biggest detriment is that midsole and the volume in the upper. So a few things to tweak and it would be significantly improved. Doesn't mean it's a bad shoe, just would expect a little bit different. Let me know if you have any comments, give the video a like, and subscribe to the channel. If you already are subscribed, I thank you, and consider joining the channel membership. It'll support the channel and videos like this and other future adventures and races that I'll, of course, record and share with you. I'm getting covered in snow and loving it. See you on the next video. Remember to be consistent, express gratitude, and enjoy every mile as I am today. As always, see you on the next one. Bye. Hey, I'm back. If you want to drop off, that's totally fine. I'm going to record a few more minutes of trail running here in the snow on this beautiful trail. So just enjoy that. And otherwise, I'll see you on the next video. Woo! sure glad these shoes have good grip. These 4mm lugs are doing a great job in the snow. Yeah, I really don't have to worry about slipping around, which is a really good thing on a day like this. I do have to worry about rolling an ankle, so I have to be careful where I step. Don't want to step on a hidden rock underneath the snow. Morning, folks. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. What an adventurous run.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi.
More than expected this early.
I know. I wasn't expecting it to actually stick.
Yeah.
Hey, bud. Hi.
Yeah. I'm holding up the hill to try to get you that.
Come on, let's go. Enjoy your run. All right, we're coming up on the top of this first ridge. We just came from clear on the other side. All that. Whew. All right, rim rock. We're gonna go left. It's like 0.1 longer. All right, let's get to it. Whew. There we have it. Let's see here. 19.76 miles. I'll take it. That was a lot of fun. See you on the next one.